every day you need to strive to be better than you were the day before. We expect that of our kids, and we should also expect that of ourselves. TeachOn! I'm Bob Feuer. I'm a 35-year veteran of North Bend Central High School. I've taught 7-12 science for my entire career. I was named the 2011 Nebraska Teacher of the Year, and I've got lots of other titles that I won't bore you with, that I've sort of been labeled with across the term of my career. But just teacher is really a great description, so I'll leave it at that. No, actually not. It was sort of one of those things where you have to sort of change your practice gradually. You can't change. I've had 4 preps, and sometimes 5 during my career, so I sort of started to redo lessons all the way along. And I think one of the skills I had was I could increase the level of some very simple labs, and then I could find some very simple things in some complex labs that still made connections with kids, and then let the kids branch out themselves and sort of fill in the gaps. I always tell the kids I trick them into learning stuff. In the process, they don't understand what's going on until they do that. And very much oriented towards discovery learning. You give them the opportunity to learn something, and then all of a sudden, they just learn it, and they're surprised, and they can't forget it. We're doing a zoology survey. It's comparative zoology right now in my Biology 2 class. And I have a computer program that's got some local birds. Kids just don't get outside enough, so I have the kids identify 40 local birds. And there's a quiz program. They're going through the quiz, and there are bird calls, and then they're looking at the pictures. And the kids that have already taken the quiz are calling out the names of the birds just by their calls. They're not looking at the quiz. And the other kids, well, shut up, I want to do this. And then you have some of them just grab it for fun. Before, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And then all of a sudden, they find out that it's fun. So they'll not ever look at birds the same way. They're using field notebooks. That's one of the things that they do as they collect, is that they need to identify the locale, describe the habitat, and then they come back and use those to identify the plant. So they utilize their field notebook to eventually help them make identifications of those specimens that they've collected. The insect collections that we collected we finished up in mid-September last year, the kids are just using now for classification. So we store them, they come back, there aren't too many insects out here yet, but now we've stored that information from last fall, and now they're utilizing it in the classroom this spring. The aha moment came in a workshop, it was probably 20 years ago, with now a very dear friend. I heard how good Ed was, and still vividly remember some of the things at the workshop that he did that told me it was okay to be a little goofy as a teacher. I hadn't thought about that. I was pretty disciplined. I was the old sage on the stage, as you were for the first 10 years of my career, and then understood that wasn't really how kids learn. So I changed my practice a lot in that at that workshop, and started to essentially create my own curriculum from that, trying to find things that would give kids some relevance in their lives. And I really worked to try to change their dispositions about how they learn. And that was the real segue to actually becoming a teacher. I've been in the profession for 10 years, occupying the desk, but I don't really think I was a very good teacher until then. One of the things I think you need to strive for is constant improvement. Our track T-shirts have got a Japanese symbol on the back, and it's Kaizen. And I got that from a book actually about sports. But Kaizen means continuous improvement. Every day you need to strive to be better than you were the day before. We expect that of our kids, and we should also expect that of ourselves. So what can you do today to be better than you were yesterday? Read a book, find something on Twitter, find a colleague and get some ideas from them, always strive. You'll be surprised where you'll find information. Sometimes it's in places where you wouldn't suspect, and sometimes it's just outside stumbling around in nature. One of the things you need to think about is the butterfly effect, in that you'll never know the things that you do. We may wait 10 years before we know if we made a difference, and maybe longer. So you do your best every day for every kid, and eventually your return will be seen probably tenfold. Teach on!